But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the materials I'm using. I'm using this handle by Tachikawa. I have actually, since I started doing illustration, I've always used inks, and I'm used to using the Winsor & Newton inks, but here in Sweden for some reason I cannot find them. I can only find the calligraphy inks, and most of them are not waterproof, and they don't really feel the same as the other ones. I wanted to buy some ink that was especially for drawing, like the purpose of its existence is drawing. So I figured that when I was in Japan I could buy some of the materials I've seen some manga artists use, because I think that's like if someone knows about ink are mangaka. And manga artists usually use ink that dries pretty fast. Like I think the traditional one originally was called Sumi ink, but now they use pretty much a variety. So I bought the Zig Black Ink 60, which is kind of a Sumi ink. It says very quick drying Sumi ink for manga drawing, and also the Black Deleter. This one was very inexpensive. They were both at a good price. This has a lot of ink in it, so that's good. They dry pretty fast as they clean, and they're soft and easy to use. I don't find that they're fully waterproof, so if I later want to go over them with watercolor, I feel like they stain a little if you use light colors, but they cling to be good. To use Copics on it, over it, like alcohol-based markers, they say. And I haven't tried that. I have to try that because I would be surprised, because if they run a little bit with water, I'm surprised they resist the alcohol from the alcohol markers, but maybe they do. So I will try that later. And I bought a few nibs, but the ones I will be using throughout October, and I have been using so far, are also inspired by manga artists. I don't know if you've seen the documentary series Manpen. You can find it here on YouTube. It's a manga artist makes it. I don't want to explain it too much because you can see it there, but it shows how various different manga artists work, and it's pretty cool. And most of them use two different kinds of nibs. One is called Maru pen, which means like round, and it's because it's completely round. I'll show it up close. And the other one is the G pen. Here you can see the nib holder. It's a wooden nib holder, and it has two different round holes for the different nibs, so you would just stick it in. This is the Maru, smallest one, and this is the one I've been using, which is the G. Another one of my materials has been this notebook, which is a notebook called To Homo. And it's really good. I bought it in Japan as well, and I love that it has this thing to tie it with. But I've done a few drawings in here, and here I drew my last Inktober piece, which was Haunted House. So I will be using this for today. I'm gonna do a light version of this sketch on top of the paper, and then I will start using the ink. I also will be using this very useful ceramic baby bowl to put water in, and I will use these brushes, which are Rodin. They're by Politec, and they were insanely cheap, but they're pretty good. I just did sort of a light sketch. This paper, I don't know if you can see, but it gets marked really easily. If you push the pencil, you mark the paper and you can tell where the line was before, so I have to be very gentle with it. I'm not used to that.
How to do that, how to monitor how he's feeling and know when to come back from those extremes. And then
I'm gonna use this paper. I'd like to try how much ink my brush has, and I'm barely touching the paper. start to see the shapes of everything. I want it to be really like loose and soft. That's the word. Soft, like I didn't really want to define where the color ends in this plant pot, for example, or in the jars. I want it to be like super soft, except for this, because I want it to be like the focus. What I heard is that it's good to dip the brush until like up the, you can't really see on this one, so this hole, you have to dip it, the eye, I think it's called the eye, you have to dip it all the way here, so surpassing the eye, and that way the ink won't stop flowing. Like I put a lot of pressure on my wrist, and I usually don't get tired at all. I say usually every other sentence, I'm sorry. But when I draw, I don't put a lot of pressure on my hands. Like I can paint and draw for a very long time and don't feel the strain on my wrist. But whenever I use nibs, I notice that I do something different, because when I write or when I use nibs, it starts hurting, so I guess I'm straining my wrist in a different way. I have to be careful with that, because I hurt my wrist a couple of years ago and it was really inconvenient and it hurt a lot. I usually use brushes because I love being able, like for example here, I love being able to switch between a very thin line and a thicker line. Wow, you see what I did there? I don't know if I just did it now. Yeah, I always make a mess, and yesterday I just stained off my hand, but well, too bad. That's part of the deal. I have to practice also, because I feel like if I were to do this for a job, I would be super nervous, as I always get everything dirty. And that's a downside of having to dip it back in. And also I feel like the ink is slowly drying because I keep it open so much. But yeah, I just wanted to share some thoughts with you. I don't know if you've had any experience with nibs, but if you have any like practical advice, please share it with me in the comments. Show you a few of the houses I really like to see when I'm walking there. I usually take pictures for my Instagram and I put like a color palette there. If you don't follow me on Instagram, this is like a shameless plug because I add like the colors of the places I see that I like and everything. So yeah, let's go. we've been collecting. This is my favorite. Look at the color. The sad thing is that they lose color almost immediately after you pick them up. Well, that was it for my studio vlog. I figured I should make more vlogs since it's the content I like to watch the most on YouTube. I always enjoy either having it in the background or watching it while I have a cup of tea or something, so I thought it would be nice to make more myself. I hope you like them, and I already started recording the next one. I know this is a little behind, but I thought it would be interesting to start doing vlogs showing what I did on Inktober. And I ordered some drawing inks from Winsor & Newton, so I will be reviewing them and also a scanner, and I want to make more and more videos. And thank you to everyone who joined the Inktober Magic Tag. I loved getting into my Instagram every day and seeing what you were doing. So I think I'm gonna do it next year as well. I hope you're having a lovely November and see you soon.